Hi, I'm Sailor Jupiter Lita here, and today I'm going to talk about something that, well, hey, let's just talk about it here. Alright, so, there's a lot of folks, well, why don't we just say it? Okay, so, here's the truth. I don't know. Okay, so, you have these jerks. I don't want to say that. I don't know what I'm saying. I come on here, I make a film, and sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about, but come on, it's my YouTube Fairway. So, it is what it is. Okay, so you have all these, I don't know what to say. Okay, I'll say it. Yes, I was frightened of the FTC or the Federal Trade Commission way early on. And this may have came from, I don't know, folks that were going around saying all kind of things. Folks that would watch that film and then just, take things out of context. But apparently, it's not true. Oh, it's true that YouTube and Google fucked up when it came to the law and got handicapped for it by having to uh, had to buy that fine. But here is how the FTC truly would look at a Fairway or channels. First, I believe it would have to be reported to them some way, somehow. Or they'd have to come aware of it somehow, some way. They wouldn't have anyone who just, whose job was just to be on YouTube all day, look at film after film, fairway after fairway, hoping they would get someone on something. And then have to go with someone that they believed they could actually win. Believing that they could actually, someone they actually believed that was actually doing wrong. Now, how this would happen is that I guess someone would have to report the Fairway to the Federal Trade Commission. Someone would then have to go on there, one of the four commissioners, I'm guessing one of the overseers or whoever, would have to go on there, look at the film, and then have to sit down and have a meeting. And if they felt that someone was doing wrong, or if they felt that they had enough to go through an underseeking of the channel, or at least the Fairway, I would guess not. I guess the Fairway, or at least the film, or Fairway, then they would have to get in contact with the owner. Well, on YouTube, you don't own your YouTube Fairway, so you really can't say the owner, but I guess the one who runs the Fairway, ask him or her and let him or her know they're going to be under seeking, and then ask them for whatever information, their home track, their sale track, what their send is, and all that other stuff. And then have another, and then look at the films again, and then have another meeting to make a pick if they believe that the films were truly not following the law, the films were either doing right and the Fairway was following the law, or yes, the Fairway technically actually was following the law, but they were doing something wrong. Then if they all could stand on that, then they'd have to make a pick of how much income he or she was making. And keep in mind, this would be if he or she was a YouTube mate, and they were making some kind of income from Google or YouTube through Google AdSense, and depending if they how much that they would be earning to decide how much they could actually give away, how much fine that they could actually buy or give, and still be able to stay in business or keep in business, or in this case, keep running their YouTube Fairway. Well, so that's how it works. Now, do I know all the things? No, but that's what someone who had a meeting with the FTC and what someone on YouTube learned and what they said in one of their films. But I believe that is exactly how they would do it. In the beginning, a lot of folks would have you believe that they were just going to come through and just look at every film and every fairway there was. They just wanted to get someone. Well, that wasn't true. Actually, the FTC does understand that there are fairways and films out there that are for a general audience, for grown-ups, and that there are ones that fall into a mix between grown-ups and tweens and kids, and ones that just fall for, or ones that are just for kids. But it would be hard to know which was which, since on YouTube they only give you made for kids or made not for kids, and that's not really much of a pick. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's how they would go through. It wouldn't just be a bunch of folks sitting in cubicles all day watching every fairway and every film that got uploaded to YouTube so they could hope they could get someone on something, because that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Someone would have to report it to them or send it to them some way. They would have to look at the fairway, have a meeting about it, and if they thought there was enough truth to start a underseeking, then have to let the runner or the owner in some case know that they were being underseeking and ask them for their stuff, and then have to have another underseeking, and then have another meeting to see if there was enough truth that they were doing wrong, and then make a pick of how much this runner or owner was making, if they were a YouTube mate or not, and if they could stay in business, or they could keep in business, or they could keep making their films and still have enough income over to live on and be able to give some away for the fine that or the fee they would have to sadly have to give away if they were seek that they were doing wrong. But that was how it would work. So yes, there are a lot of folks out there that still will talk about that, will talk about that all the time. There's a lot of folks out there that will say that all the time, and they truly wouldn't know how the FTC truly goes through looking at websteads or businesses, or in this case now YouTube fairways, and how they do the underseeking and how they come up with the truth that someone was doing wrong. If someone wasn't doing anything wrong, they just let them go. Now, if someone wasn't a YouTube mate and they weren't making no income from Google or YouTube, and they were, say they were on SSI or something, then I guess there really wasn't much they could do, at least as far as a fine goes. I guess they could give that follower a warning and tell them that they needed to shift their work up, and if they looked at the work again, then they could either tell YouTube to shut the fairway down, or to have that one film removed or taken down, or whatever it might be, whatever handicap. But it would still have to be the underseeking, and have a meeting about the underseeking, and have another meeting after the underseeking to see if there was enough truth to do any of that. But most likely, if somebody was on SSI and that was their only form of income they were making, and that a fine, or fine's a French bar word, fee, would basically harm that income, then they basically couldn't do that. But anyway, that's the truth of how they would handle that thing. Of course, you're going to have all folks on YouTube telling you sagas and tales about they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They got a team of folks that are just going to look through films they want and fairways made it or not, and they want everyone down, and they're going to do this and do that, which isn't actually true. They don't really have the time. They really do not have the women's strength or the man's strength to do that. And they only look at someone if someone reported it to them, and they had to have a meeting about looking at that Fairway, then have another meeting to see if there was any truth to that Fairway was doing wrong in their films, and have another meeting to see if that another talk with that owner or runner about how much they were earning, where they lived, and if they had to give a fee for not following the law, then would they be able to outlive on that? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I'm Sailor Jupiter Lita. Hope you like this film.